Alright, hey guys, just want to talk about this situation because while I don't play a bulk majority of AAA Western games these days, I do observe, I see, you can't miss this stuff if you're on the internet, which everybody is nowadays, right? And certainly if you play games in any capacity. So we got some news on Concord. A game I was actively avoiding, but as I say, it's hard to miss this stuff. What I've looked into with this game always looked kind of just bare bones, basic, minimal. What I heard about it sounded mundane. Like, how do you have a hero shooter without ultimates, for one thing? That is just crazy to me and bizarre and just so lackluster. The designs in general for characters looked horrible for the most part. There were a handful I liked, but it just looked like a mess. But more to the point, what's happening is, as you'll be seeing in front of you now, an official announcement just today, in the last hour from recording this video here, Concord's shutting down. This is not an exaggeration for me to say this is probably the most disastrous failure of a game I've ever seen. Right now, at least, from memory, I cannot think of a game that's failed harder than this in terms of when it comes to the time spent in development and the budget behind it. And not only are they cancelling the game outright, they're refunding, I believe, all platforms. We're going to read through this in a second because I've got the article up in front of me. But this is being reported on like crazy, and we'll talk about at the end my thoughts. But let's just have a read through actually what they said in the blog post on PlayStation, the official blog. So let's have a look. So Ryan Ellis, game director of Fireworks Studios. Concord fans, we've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch of Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC. I want to thank everyone who has joined the journey aboard the North Star. Your support and the passionate community that has grown around the games meant the world to us. However, while many qualities of the experience resonate with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game and our initial launch didn't land the way we'd intended. Therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline beginning September 6th, 2024, and explore options, including those that will better reach our players, whatever that means. But while we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased the game for PS5 or PC. If you purchase the game for PlayStation 5 from the store, you'll be directly refunded, blah, blah, blah. Customers who purchase from other digital storefronts will also be refunded. More information about refunds from Steam and Epic can be found below. I'm not going to read those. I mean, you can see them over the coming days. Yeah, Steam confirmation or refund. Epic, same kind of thing. Over the coming days, contact customers directly. Other retailers, let's see that. For like PC, like storefronts, I presume. For customers who purchased a physical copy of retail outside of PlayStation directly, please refer to the refund process at the retailer you purchased it from to obtain your refund. I'm not sure how keys worked for this game. Like if you bought from a third-party key seller, I mean, you have to redeem that anyway through Steam or Epic. So I guess it doesn't matter. I guess it's neither here nor there. You'll get the refund through the platform. Once refunded, players will no longer have access to the game. We'll keep you updated, and thank you again to all the free gunners who have joined us in the Concord Galaxy. Damn. Like I said, probably the biggest failure of a game of this caliber in terms of budget and, well, I would say scope, but it doesn't look like the game had much scope to me in the first place. Just in terms of development time and budget, absolutely insane. I believe this game cost, was it in the ballpark of $250 to $300 million over 8 years of development? If I was on the development team, that'd be pretty disheartening for me, certainly. I mean, the game's been out 2 weeks and they are pulling the plug, quite literally. And I don't know what the plan is. I was talking to a friend about it who suggested they might be, well, he thinks it's hard to really justify pulling the plug on such a big project that costs so much money. Investors are going to be pissed, understandably. His idea, and I kind of agree with this as I'm thinking about it more and more, is they might come back in a few months, like say 6 to 9 months, maybe a year from now, and revise it. Same way I suppose Final Fantasy XIV Online turned into A Realm Reborn to great success. They could be looking at maybe the same kind of thing, although I don't know how you do that with this type of game, quite frankly. I think they really need to go back. If they want this IP to actually have any kind of legs or attention again, they need to change a lot, including like the genre of game. I think a lot of people just don't really care that much about hero shooters. At this point, I'm kind of one of them. You know, Overwatch was a great thing back in the day. For me, I don't play it. I haven't played it in years now. Like at the time, it was more of a unique thing, you know. But now we got games like this are just everywhere at the moment. Like Activision kind of capitalizes on it more. Call of Duty with having the operator classes and stuff, which is essentially a hero shooter, and just everything else out there. So why do I think it failed? I suppose we'll get to that point. I'll just vent my feelings. I haven't got a script in front of me, guys. I just want to talk about this because, as I say, I follow. While I don't play a lot of these games, you see everything about them, really, and I observe and take mild interest just to see what it's about. But character designs, now, unfortunately, we're just in the spot where politics make their way into entertainment. Like, it's just impossible to avoid. But part of the problem with that, and why I think it's important to be vocal about it, is because we definitely have left-leaning politics heavy in gaming these days. You watch any game awards show, any game announcement show, whatever. Even recently with the Game Awards, I think it was. So much, quote, diversity, DEI bullshit going on that's just so transparent and forced. And I think this game just fell victim to this as well. Like, some of the skins I've seen for character, not let alone the character designs, which I really don't care for at all. I think it's a mess. Even the skins are a joke as well. It kind of reminds me of Justice League, which has the same issue. Like with these skins that are just weird. Like, honestly. And like I mentioned at the beginning, the lack of ultimates is odd for a hero shooter. I'm sorry. Now, ultimates, people might say, oh, well, they're trying to do something different, you know. Every hero shooter has ultimates, so shouldn't you like that? Okay, devil's advocate, you can say that, I suppose, but at the same time, ultimates vary up characters, like, greatly, and give them more of a role than just shooty-shooty, run around shooty-shooty with one little ability. Ultimates, can, like in Overwatch, can change the tide of the game if you use them well with your team, certainly. But yeah, no, I think this game just didn't really have anything going for it, particularly. The promise of, like, the story being spread out through cutscenes was, like, the only promise they had of, like, content in the future for a live service, which sounds just kind of lame. Honestly, you know, having story segments through updates is fine, but we're just getting, like, these expensive-looking CGI cutscenes with these characters. It just wasn't that great of a promise as to what the future holds for the game. And it's one of the reasons I stopped playing Overwatch, among others. It just got boring, but updates were quite scarce, I found. Like, they took months to come out with new heroes. Like, it took forever. Like, you're talking like 3 up to 6 months, I feel like, for new heroes sometimes, or just new content in general that was meaningful, aside from cosmetic stuff. But yeah, anyway, I guess there's not much need to talk about this anymore. The game's going to cease to exist. It essentially already has. Unbelievable, though, in terms of, like, the level of failure this is. And all I can say in summary is I hope this is a giant wake-up call to companies like Sony, all these big, like, companies, essentially, you know, at the top of the gaming industry. I'm sick of this. I don't know about you guys, I'm sorry, but I'm sick of this activism bullshit in gaming. I'm not going to call it politics, because the thing is, when you say this, people say in response, oh, well, Deus Ex has politics, Metal Gear Solid had politics, you guys love those. Okay, let's separate politics and activism. Because what's happening now, while you could say, yes, there's politics, there's left-leaning politics in games, what it is, the problem is the activism elements, the propagandist elements. Like, if you look at Deus Ex, it's a commentary against propaganda and just how organizations kind of control society and manipulate society. It's like Deus Ex is an allegory to real life in so many ways, and like where we could be, and frankly it predicted a lot of things correctly in terms of just how people are manipulated, like so easily as well, and lied to. This kind of political crap in games nowadays with leftist garbage is honestly just not thoughtful. It's all just about brain dead inclusion just for the sake of it, pushing diversity. It's brainless. It doesn't make you think about society at large. It doesn't make you think about factors behind society that control society and all these things, all these questions, these really interesting questions Deus Ex had you asking and thinking about, all the interesting, cleverly written dialogue with like NPCs about, you know, civil unrest, people in charge, conspiracy theories, and yeah, just interesting stuff. How is this comparatively interesting versus like Metal Gear Solid or Deus Ex, the stuff we have nowadays? And again, I'm talking about this because Concord, I think, fell victim to this in part with like the character designs. Like, we've got characters that are just not traditionally attractive. I'm sorry, I don't know how to better put it than that. It's like they're designed to be unattractive for the sake of inclusion and making people feel included. I can't speak in relation to the story. I mean, frankly, the game wasn't so much about story, so I have no idea if it had any elements of, you know, again, let's say activism in that. Either way, whatever the case, character designs I think were trashy, and it didn't really appeal to people like the same way Overwatch did, because Overwatch actually has sexy characters, you know? It's appealing to have attractive characters. I'm sorry, whether you want to hear that or not, people want attractive characters. I know my gacha boys out there, my gacha boys and girls are gonna highly agree with that notion. I want attractive characters in game. I'm not a particularly attractive person in real life. I do not care. It's not about me. I want escapism. There's a lot of ugly people in reality. I want my beautiful girls and boys in games. But anyway, that'll be it, guys. I'm not going to say it's a shame. It's damn not. It's anything but a shame that this has happened. This is exactly what I wanted to see. The way you tell these companies what you want is you put your money where your mouth is. That'll be it, guys. Let me know what you think down below. More videos soon. I said in my last video, it's already been like a month since my last one. I just wanted to talk about this, guys. And like I told you guys before, if I want to talk about something, that's when I make a video. And that's just how it's going to be. So take care. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. And I'll speak to you guys soon.